Born in 1868, Bernard McFadden was one of the first modern health gurus and the father of the physical culture movement. In the late 19th century, he taught that a strong and healthy body came from exercise, a pure mind, and living in harmony with nature. He was born weak and often ill, but he rebuilt himself through sunlight, clean food, and farm labor. He believed any man could do the same. Strength, he said, wasn't inherited. It was built through daily effort and discipline. McFadden became a tireless health advocate. He built gyms, launched magazines, and even ran for president. His ideas on exercise, diet, and sexual discipline reached millions across America. He was perhaps one of the most influential voices in early 20th century wellness and physical education. His magazine, Physical Culture, carried the bold motto, "Weakness is a crime. Don't be a criminal." That single phrase summed up his entire belief. To McFadden, a man's greatest duty was to stay strong in both body and mind. He believed weakness was not fate, but neglect, a choice one could correct through effort and will. He also held strong views against masturbation and impurity of thought. McFadden wrote that masturbation was one of the greatest sexual evils, harmful at any stage of life because it drained the body's vitality and weakened the nerves. He saw it as an outrage against the body, something that dulled the mind and weakened the soul. In his eyes, purity of thought and action built both inner strength and outer vigor. Still, he did not believe sexual instinct was shameful. In fact, he encouraged men and women to develop it wisely, as he saw it as a powerful creative force when properly directed. He wrote, "The sex instinct dominates all life, as well as the lover and maiden, the husband or matron." For him, mastery over desire meant mastering life itself. Many of his views on health and sexual discipline were controversial. He strongly opposed the medical establishment and their methods, calling many doctors pill pushers. For that, he was often mocked as a quack by his critics. After nearly dying from childhood vaccinations, McFadden became convinced that most illnesses were man-made, the result of bad habits and blind trust in medicine. He believed true healing came from nature and self-discipline. He was also one of the first to challenge censorship laws and restrictions on free speech. He believed that society's prudishness and guilt about the body caused great emotional and spiritual harm. Since the mind, he taught, has immense influence over the body, he urged people to keep their thoughts clean and positive. A healthy mind, he said, was the foundation of a healthy body. He practiced regular fasting and believed that the body, like the mind, needed rest. Every Monday, he went without food to cleanse and renew his system. As his fame grew, McFadden became a cultural icon. He even founded his own health city in New Jersey, a community that banned alcohol, tobacco, doctors, and medicines. It was his vision of a pure, self-reliant life. McFadden's ideas deeply influenced many great minds of his time, and one of them was Nikola Tesla. In a 1933 interview for Physical Culture magazine, Tesla openly praised the movement and shared how he had followed many of McFadden's principles in his own life. Tesla explained that he had been interested in physical culture ever since he was a young man and had experimented with many different nutritional theories. From an early age, he believed that the best way to eat was to take food in fine, almost liquid form in small amounts throughout the day. He thought this method supplied steady energy to the body and placed the least strain on the stomach and intestines. For several years, Tesla followed this lifestyle with great discipline, preparing simple dishes made from milk, beef juice, and vegetable purees. While working long hours in his laboratory, he would eat whenever he felt the need, rather than at fixed times. According to him, his health during that period was excellent. His heart was strong, his digestion perfect, and his body felt balanced and efficient. But later in life, Tesla explained that his work required him to travel often to places where he could not maintain that diet. He was forced to eat regular meals like everyone else. The sudden change had a major effect on his health. He said his stomach and intestines had shrunk and weakened, losing much of their natural movement. It took him a long time to adjust to normal eating again, and his body never felt quite the same. Tesla's story shows how strongly he believed in the relationship between food, discipline, and energy, ideas that aligned closely with McFadden's vision of physical culture and purity of life. When asked how many meals a day were best for health, Tesla gave an interesting answer. He said he had tried everything, 6 meals a day like most Europeans, 3 a day, even just 1. He had also tried eating small amounts constantly throughout the day. After years of experimenting, Tesla decided that 2 meals a day were the most beneficial. He believed that lunch was unnecessary because it slowed the body instead of helping it. Lunch, he said, filled the stomach when the body needed energy for work. Tesla explained that it usually takes 3 to 4 hours to digest food, so eating lunch actually lowers energy during those hours. The blood goes from the brain to the stomach, making both mental and physical work harder. He said 1 meal a day, however, was not enough. It did not provide the energy needed for an active life or match the rhythm of the day. By age 78, he still enjoyed his 2 meals just as much as when he was 16. What is most remarkable is that both Tesla and McFadden, who followed the physical culture lifestyle, lived well into their 80s. This was a time when the average life expectancy was much lower than it is today. Their shared beliefs went beyond food. Both men were devoted to daily exercise, often walking briskly for 5 to 10 miles every single day. They believed that movement kept the mind and body in balance. They also spoke about sexual energy. Both Tesla and McFadden believed that sexual release came with a heavy cost to one's strength and focus. Tesla chose a life of celibacy, while McFadden practiced restraint within marriage. Even though their lifestyles were different, both saw sexual control as a source of higher vitality and mental clarity. They viewed this discipline not as repression, but as a form of self-mastery. McFadden also promoted fasting, vegetarianism, and strength training. He rejected many popular medical ideas of his time, especially after a childhood experience that changed his life. When he was only 8 years old, McFadden nearly died after receiving vaccinations. From that moment, he began to distrust mainstream medicine and chose to take his health into his own hands. He was born weak and often ill, and once overheard a relative say he would die young like his mother. That painful moment filled him with determination to rebuild himself completely. Through sunlight, clean food, and hard work, McFadden transformed his body from frail to strong. As an adult, he became a powerful athlete and often modeled for his own health magazines. He believed the human body was a reflection of discipline and moral strength. To him, building the body was as important as building the mind and spirit. His magazines often featured images of fit men and women wearing little clothing to show ideal proportions. Combined with his open views on sexuality, this shocked the conservative public of his time. Many critics called his work indecent and accused him of spreading immorality. In 1905, he was even arrested for publishing what they called obscene material. But in truth, McFadden's only real crime was showing the human body as something sacred, not shameful. He believed purity did not mean hiding the body, it meant honoring it as the living temple of the soul. As a result of scandals and harsh media attacks, Bernard McFadden's reputation suffered greatly. Many said these criticisms pushed him to leave America and move to England in search of a new beginning. When he arrived, he organized a national competition called Great Britain's Perfect Woman. The woman who won became his wife, and together they started a family built around his philosophy of natural health and discipline. They toured across the country with their children, performing shows and giving lectures that promoted the values of physical culture and clean living to the public. Even after all the controversy, McFadden never gave up his mission. His publications began to gain massive success and reached audiences all over the world. He continued to write, publish, and open gyms where people could train their bodies and learn the importance of strength, energy, and self-control. His magazines shared exercise programs, advice on diet, and strong warnings against masturbation to help men protect their vitality and inner power. By the 1930s, McFadden's influence had grown beyond health and fitness and reached into politics, where he called for national reform. He became the first person to suggest creating a National Secretary of Health and even ran for public office to promote his vision of a stronger nation. He believed that true wealth was not in money or possessions, but in the strength and health of its people, both physically and morally. McFadden was known as an energetic and magnetic man who could inspire almost anyone who met him with his passion and intensity. Even in his later years, he refused to slow down. His life was proof of his belief that energy and courage were the real signs of youth. On his 84th birthday, he celebrated not with rest, but with adventure, jumping from an airplane and parachuting into a river. It was his way of showing that vitality has no age and that strength is a lifelong practice, not a passing phase. Now we move to part 2, the writings of Bernard McFadden. His own words reveal his understanding of how excess drains the spirit and weakens the body. Many men, he wrote, seem to believe their sexual powers are endless. Week after week and year after year, they continue indulgence without realizing the damage being done. The truth, he said, is that the body is like a chain. It can only be as strong as its weakest link, and when excess becomes a habit, that link begins to break. He explained that as this excess continues, the muscles slowly lose their firmness and symmetry, and the organs grow weak under the strain. The stomach, heart, and lungs all begin to suffer, and if there is any hidden weakness or illness, it soon finds its way to the surface. He warned that thousands of men had already lost their lives, not from accidents or fate, but from the silent destruction brought by sexual overindulgence. McFadden believed this slow decay could be prevented only by mastering one's desires and restoring discipline to both the body and the mind. Procreation is the true purpose of sexual union in nature. Sexual intercourse has only one sacred aim, and that is the creation of new life. This act, one of the greatest mysteries of existence, should be treated with deep reverence as something holy and pure, not as a casual indulgence. It should be performed only for the purpose of bringing forth offspring. Every other use of it, every act driven by pleasure alone, violates the laws of nature and the divine order set by God. When intercourse is used for procreation, one single act may be enough. During pregnancy and nursing, the mother should abstain completely to protect both herself and the child. Even in the animal world, we see this natural restraint. Wild creatures follow these rhythms without question or corruption. Excess, however, destroys vitality. It drains ambition and weakens the will. Some old physiologists once said that a single drop of semen is equal to 60 drops of blood. Whether that number is exact or not, no one can deny that this fluid holds the essence of a man's strength, carrying his very life force within it. It is in truth his own flesh and blood, the vital seed from which life itself springs. To waste it thoughtlessly is to waste life itself. What is most tragic is that many who fall into these habits are unaware of their slow decline. They grow weaker, yet blame it on some cold or passing ailment. They never realize that it is their own indulgence, their quiet excess, that has stolen their health, their will, and their peace of mind. McFadden wrote that one must also choose wisely in marriage, for health and discipline belong to both husband and wife. He warned men to marry a real woman, not one weakened in body and spirit, because her vitality is essential to the harmony of both lives. Many women, he observed, have lost their natural instincts due to the artificial conditions of modern life, such as tight clothing, corsets, and lack of physical activity. These unnatural habits weaken their bodies and cloud their instincts, leaving them unable to protect themselves or their partners from harmful excess. A truly healthy woman has natural cycles of attraction and aversion, created by nature as a safeguard against overindulgence and imbalance. Sadly, few reach this state of normal womanhood today. The delicate intuition that once guarded both sexes from harm has been dulled by fashion and false living. When speaking of excess, many men ask the same question: how much is too much? What counts as moderation? And when does indulgence begin? McFadden answered that there can be no single rule for all. Each man must discover his own limits, for what is safe for one may be dangerous for another. Only through discipline, awareness, and respect for the body's sacred laws can one maintain balance and preserve the energy that gives life its power. Many married people give themselves to the sexual act every day, sometimes more than once, and continue this habit for years without rest or restraint. It is not only the frequency that harms them, but also the unnatural and careless way in which the act is often performed. Such repeated indulgence can bring serious results. In some cases, paralysis, nervous collapse, and even epilepsy follow as direct consequences of constant excess. Weakness of the nerves, trembling limbs, and loss of coordination often appear quietly after years of overuse, leaving the body and mind exhausted. A healthy woman, however, can always sense what is right. Nature has made her the final judge of how often union should occur. When a man follows her natural rhythm, peace and harmony enter the marriage. But when he ignores it, discord and suffering quickly take their place. Only a woman who is truly healthy can decide correctly, for her instincts are pure and in tune with nature's laws. A loving husband who cares for a delicate wife will easily practice self-control, knowing that love never wishes to cause harm. At times, lawmakers and religious leaders have tried to set fixed limits on marital relations, hoping to make one rule that fits all. But such an effort is impossible, for no single law can fit every body, every age, and every condition of health. As a general guide, the true test of moderation is how one feels afterward. A healthy act leaves the body strong, the mind clear, and the sleep deep and peaceful. When instead the limbs feel weak, the appetite dull, and the head heavy or aching, then excess has already taken its toll. If the mind feels cloudy, the will sluggish, or the heart tired, it is a sign that the act should be practiced more rarely, or perhaps not at all for a time. Those who respect these natural limits and follow them faithfully will never fall into danger from overindulgence. When it comes to knowing whether you are living in excess, your own feelings are the surest guide. Instinct speaks more truly than reason here. If you live in marriage but find your energy fading, your strength shrinking, and a tired heaviness that never leaves, take warning. If you eat well, exercise daily, and still feel drained, then sexual excess is likely the hidden cause behind your weakness. In such cases, the first and best remedy is temperance. For some, complete abstinence for a time may restore balance and renew the spirit. Many modern writers have done great harm by making light of the dangers of self-abuse. They speak so often about the exaggerations of earlier authors that young readers begin to believe the habit is harmless. This mistaken belief leads them to make no effort to stop, and so the damage quietly continues. It is true that fear and alarm can sometimes make the struggle harder by filling the mind with worry. But it is equally foolish to act as if the habit were of little importance, or to say that nearly everyone has done it and most have stayed healthy. Such careless comfort blinds people to the truth. The fact remains that masturbation is always harmful, even when practiced in small degree. When carried too far, it becomes deeply destructive to both body and mind. If it begins after full maturity, the harm may be less. But sadly, in most cases, it starts long before, between the ages of 12 and 16, and sometimes continues for years. When this habit is begun early and carried on through youth, the effects can be so serious that even the grim warnings of older writers seem almost justified. Even in adult life, the practice weakens a man's vitality, steals his energy, and dulls his ambition. It drains his mental strength, clouds his spirit, and leaves him unfit for marriage. It also weakens the sexual function itself and brings a state of deep exhaustion and nervous imbalance that few recognize until too late. The extent of harm depends largely on how often and how long the habit has been practiced. Some who learn its danger early succeed in stopping before great damage is done. Others find it much harder to quit because the habit has taken deep root in the body and mind. Yet constant effort can gradually lessen its hold and reduce its harm. Many finally free themselves only after 2 or 3 years of steady struggle, proving that persistence is the real cure. It should also be remembered that some bodies are naturally stronger and can endure more abuse without showing quick results, just as some can drink or smoke more without immediate harm. But even when the damage is not seen at once, it is still taking place quietly beneath the surface, eating away at health and spirit. Some men claim the practice never harmed them, but this is usually because they were born with great natural strength and energy. Yet even in them, it works unseen, draining life little by little. I cannot agree with those who say only excess is harmful. The truth is that every act of self-abuse does injury. Just as alcohol and tobacco harm the body even in small amounts, this habit too leaves its mark, though the signs may not appear until years later. The truth is that masturbation always weakens and drains the body, whether in youth or adulthood. It slowly does what castration does suddenly, robs a man of his strength and his manhood. This habit eats away at vitality little by little. Though some exaggerate its dangers, no one should pretend it is harmless, for when carried far, it makes a man unfit for marriage and for life itself. To dismiss its seriousness is not only foolish but deeply misleading. Just because a man can walk, talk, and eat does not mean he remains whole. His spirit and strength may already be broken within. The effects vary from mild to severe, ranging from nightly losses and weakness to complete impotence. The young man who finds himself powerless should ask the doctors who claim it does no harm. Night emissions are common among young men, almost universal. Even when they do not greatly weaken the body, they often bring heavy worry and distress to the mind. Usually these occur during sleep, but sometimes they happen while awake, during strain, or by gradual leakage, known as spermaturia. In certain cases, these losses are deeply exhausting. In others, they cause more fear than real injury, harming mainly through anxiety and shame. Yet it is true that what weakens one man may hardly touch another. A strong, active body may bear such losses without great harm, even if they come once a week, but such cases are rare. For most, this frequency soon weakens the system. There can be no fixed rule, since each body differs in strength and endurance, but excess in any form always brings decline. The body cannot give endlessly without losing something of itself. The main cause of these frequent losses lies in the artificial stimulation of modern life, its excitements, its habits, its indulgences. Civilization feeds desire while starving discipline. Yet the direct cause in most cases, 9 out of 10, is masturbation. It builds a constant habit of oversecretion that continues long after the act itself is stopped. When this habit is ended, the weakened organs still produce the fluid too quickly, forcing it to escape through involuntary emissions. The more the habit was practiced, the more frequent these losses become. Even married men may face the same problem when regular intimacy suddenly stops. The body, trained by habit, releases what the will no longer commands. Physicians often say that night losses are a normal part of life for healthy young men. It is true that even strong and athletic men may experience them, but I believe there is usually a special reason behind it. Sometimes, a man who has never engaged in sexual activity might still experience it because of the natural activity of his glands or mild excitement of the mind. Yet in most cases, such losses are caused by stimulation from erotic thoughts, suggestive scenes, or impure stories that awaken desire in the mind. I do not think that these losses would occur often if there were no hidden causes like masturbation or frequent indulgence. That is why I cannot call them completely normal. The body does not need this release unless it has been overstimulated or the organs have been forced to work more than they should. These emissions, in my view, are always somewhat abnormal, though they may not be harmful if they happen rarely. They are signs of an unbalanced system that needs discipline and calmness of thought. Some experts say they are natural in strong young men and only harmful when they happen too often. While I would not call them natural, I can say that if they occur without weakening the body or mind, they may be accepted as the body's way of releasing excess energy. But even then, they are a warning that self-control and purity of thought must be strengthened. The mind and body must work together to restore balance and preserve strength. If you found this story meaningful and want to hear more forgotten wisdom like this, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with others who value self-mastery and truth.